Are you ready for some New World Order programming? Yeah, kids, come to Jaden Animations. Yeah, Jaden Animations. Your generic YouTube shillery channel here. Programming the kids into the depopulation agendas, the rainbow unicorn. Yes, I may have covered this one. This one sounds very familiar. The voice of the person doing the voice here for the animation sounds extremely familiar. And this is just how they program kids. You have to have quick, hip, fast sort of products, BuzzFeed type, butt feed, pardon me, type of quick colors, lots of animated little things to keep the people in their seats long enough to watch the programming and to be programmed, basically. So this is a great example, and I'm going to show you how it's done. So what I'm going to start off here is just show a little bit of the video, just to give you an idea of how it's done. This character is talking about their growing up as a kid and being forced to go into sports, and they're kind of mixed experiences sort of thing. But there's a catch. There's a colorful catch, and it's always there, folks. Let's listen in here for a second and remind the YouTube community that this is 100% nonprofit, and unlike all of the videos you put up on Twending, I'm actually trying to help people, so this is educational. Let's listen in.
Do you want to join soccer? Not really. My mom had me in physical activities before I was even able to comprehend the idea of free will. But that's not anything I'm complaining about. I really enjoy both.
Yeah, and girls don't need to play football. Girls don't need to play rugby. Girls don't need to be boys. That's all. I'm old-fashioned. Boys should be boys. Girls should be girls. That's all. I mean, that's the way the world works, right? And that's what they're trying to change, of course. And they're pushing women to become more manly. Now, I think women's soccer is probably really good and good for women. It's always good to be athletic, but things like women's rugby, that's where it gets a little bit fucked up, sort of thing. Anyways, I don't want to get distracted, but...
I don't know what that was all about. I also have this distinct memory that when I was on my way to class, I was chewing gum in the back seat, and for some stupid reason, I took it out of my mouth and started...
She talks about being in cheerleading and stuff, and how that didn't really suit her, right? And this is typical because it's how they're trying to program women into not liking traditional female things, right?
Shoving away the competition, I dropped it and started cheerleading. And I don't remember anything about that era at all. My parents could be like, no, you never did cheerleading. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. One time getting out of my dad's car to go to practice, I slammed the door onto my thumb and was like...
That's your experience, right?
Doing some cheer thing for proof I did it. And also, here's my thumb. Yes, I still have it. Next up was gymnastics. That was one of the most terrifying experiences.
Right, kind of frowning upon the typical sort of female sports, right? Here.
To do a back bend because I trusted no one and thought I'd just fall over and die. I was a woke 6-year-old. Already knew not to trust anyone.
You've never been woke. Not even remotely woke. That's probably the most misappropriated term ever. Woke. Get the fuck out of here.
Self. Aren't you the one who slammed your own thumb into a car door? And then one time, I was at a friend's house jumping on her trampoline, and I landed on my knees weird and somehow spun it into an excuse to stop gymnastics. Yay, quitting! Not a prodigy-born gymnast? Well, alright then.
So, the traditional female things, gymnastics, right? Cheerleading, those are bad experiences.
How about soccer? I played soccer for a long time, just like everyone else has, and actually really enjoyed it for a while. My first team was called the Pink Panthers because our uniforms were hot pink. I was the nerd of the team that kept a stuffed animal Pink Panther in my soccer bag for good luck. It didn't work, we sucked butt. But it was still a lot of fun. Coincidentally, one time we played against another team that was also pink. They were called the Pink Panthers. Alright, Pink Panther.
Well, you already know the story's bullshit because that doesn't happen in league play. So yeah, you know, she had a mediocre experience, then she went into martial arts and whatever else, and right? We want to get to the meat and potatoes of what this is all about, and we'll show you right here.
Actually got the hang of and loved. I even joined the high school team, which was cool. One time when we were practicing after school, the guys' track team was doing warm-ups by the courts.
So it's interesting the guys, because whenever they show the guys in this video, they're just going to show them kind of like that, but the girls are all nicely done with their hair and shit. But anyways.
Doing warm-ups by the courts. So they were all lined up behind the fence in the sitting area. It was pretty chill. We were doing our own thing and stuff, but every once in a while, one of them would make a stupid comment like, "Yeah, you go girls. Come on, hit it harder." No one took note of them because they were just pesky boys and we were too busy kicking butt. But at
Pesky boys. But she gets angry. She has to do something, right?
one point, I smacked the ball hard enough that it bounced and stuck right into the fence where one of their
That must have been the most terrifying thing ever. How did the guys ever get over it? Imagine this. I mean, how is this even a story? I mean, how bland must your life be that this is actually a story? I can't even remember 8 billion different frickin' encounters where I told people to go fuck themselves. And you're thinking about hitting a tennis ball and scaring supposedly the bejesus out of some guy, some false macho guy, right?
Faces were. I don't like showing off in front of guys or people or anything. That's not at all my thing. I can be attracted to all genders, which is normal and not a big deal, and would still rather just stand in a dark corner and not draw attention to myself and be invisible. But the shock on his face and the fact he stumbled back a bit out of surprise, freaking hell yeah. That made me feel like All Might for a sec there, with his sassy attitude and taking no bull from anyone. Haha! I am here! Little side story. Hard enough that it bounced and stuck right into the fence where one of their faces were. I don't like showing off in front of guys or people or anything. That's not at all my thing. I can be attracted to all genders, which is normal and not a big deal, and would or anything. That's not at all my thing. I can be attracted to all genders, which is normal and not a big deal, or anything. That's not at all my thing. I can be attracted to all genders.
There you go. That's how it works. That's how it works. This is how it works. Every YouTube video that is aimed at kids does this type of shit. This is how the programming works. This is why Susan and co make sure videos like this twin, because the message is clear. In this video, there's a few things at work. There is this pretty obvious sort of lesbian sort of programming that is going, an anti-male depiction, a role reversal, which is obviously what they're pushing, and an embracement of all genders. And as you see, all genders, you've got the transgender flag here, you've got the typical homosexual rainbow, pride rainbow, and then you've got the other genders, because each one of them, just like all the cancers, right, they all have different colors. This is programming. This fucking piece of shit here, Jaden Animation, is a shill for the New World Order. 100%. That's why you get twending, and that's why you get nearly 4 million views, so that all the kiddies see this. And this is how it works. Let's take a look here just to show you how it works. Let's skip ahead here to the end.
Or straight. The end. Oh hey, funny seeing you here. It's been a while.
Alright, so remember what I said about lesbian? Now look for the symbols here. The lesbian sort of programming. So you're going to see all these depictions, right? The purple coloring. What else are we going to see? The phoenix. Watch.
Sorry about that, but also I'm not too sorry because I was away on family.
And I guess the bird here that is shown over and over again, this is not the phoenix. This is most likely the tweet bird, right? To get you to go to Twitter sort of thing. But look at the purple coloring.
Family vacation, and I had a good wholesome time because I love my family and want to spend time with them. Anyway, it's been forever since I've done.
There's the phoenix. You see the little bird changes into the phoenix here. Ethereal panda. Yeah, and there's your symbolism. This is how it works.
Any sort of sports whatsoever because I stopped pretty much as soon as I left high school. There would be a few times where my friend Kate and I would try to go out and play tennis again and be like, yeah, it'll be fun to hit the ball around, just like old times. And then we'd suck because we haven't even looked at a tennis racket in
Space Mewy corn, right?
like 2 years. One time in 10th grade, there were these two guys in my chemistry class
More
talking
phoenix
about sports,
symbolism.
like the stereotypes they were. And one of them was like, is tennis a sport? And I'm thinking to myself, No, that wasn't a real question.
You see, just all the coloring, all the symbols that go with it. You got to protect your kids from it all. That's all. You got to protect your kids from it all. There's nothing that your kids should watch that you're not there watching with them. And you have to have the wherewithal to be able to see it and understand what it is. These things, they can be subtle the way that they're presented. Like, this is a good example of, like, it seems like there's nothing too much going on, right? It seems like it's a fairly, non-agenda type video. But of course there is the agenda. The agenda is thrown right in there.
My thing. I can be attracted to all genders with...
There it is. And this character, I'm almost certain I've covered before doing the exact same thing. This is how it works. This is why YouTube is extremely evil. And what I try to say to folks is, like, I say it all the time, I'm not against you if you choose to be homosexual or even if you're transgender or something like that. I mean, I feel sorry for you because you've been abused and, chemically castrated and, conditioned into degeneracy and confusion and all that. I'm not against individuals that would identify as the rainbow. I'm against the agenda, and that's what I'm trying to show folks, is that kids are being programmed into the agenda. And that's why there are 365 days out of the year where there are pride festivals going on in the world. There's only one day of the year where there's Christmas. There's only one day out of the year where it's St. Patty's Day. There's only one day of the year where it's even Halloween. But pride is 365 days a year, and there are festivals everywhere, all the time. This is New World Order programming, and it's programming people into depopulation. They want you to stop having families. And this is all the things that destroy people as human beings and weakens them and takes away their moral, intellectual strength. Programming kids into debauchery and programming women into lesbianism is a huge, huge thing. This is something that they're definitely pushing massively, and you know who it is. So anyways, it's pretty hard doing this work sometimes because it never fails. Like, every time I see one of these videos, the agendas are always there. And it's almost like, and I have to say this is what I would say to you. I'd say YouTube is extremely evil. And there's good stuff on YouTube, right? For sure. And there's good people. I'm not saying, that's probably most people that use YouTube are good people. But the people that control it are not good people. And they don't like you. And they want you off this fucking planet. And they're finding all kinds of creative ways to depopulate your fucking asses. And this rainbow, unicorn, fucking unlimited gender thing is an attack on humanity. And it is a criminal attack on children. The people that are responsible for this should all be drawn and quartered. I mean, it's just awful what they're doing to people. You got to stop this shit, but of course it won't. So my message is protect your kids, homeschool your kids. Do not let your kids watch YouTube unsupervised. Don't let them watch anything unsupervised. Be there. If you're going to watch something, watch it with your kid. Don't watch Disney movies. Don't watch any of that crap. In fact, don't watch anything. Don't watch anything. Don't fucking watch this crap. Make your own entertainment. Read a book. Get the kids to do plays and stuff. Encourage them. Teach them. Nurture them. Teach them, to be creative. Teach them to make their own entertainment. Keep them away from the fucking Black Mirror. Keep them away from the screens. Keep them away from the devices. Because it's all rot. It's all there to just destroy people. And you see the results. You can look out and see what kids look like today, and they look worse than ever before. Obese, just depressed, confused. It's sad to see. And this is one of the major reasons why, this YouTube programming that is pushing all these agendas. So thanks so much all for listening. I hope you got something out of the video. If you can, share this message. And yeah, don't forget to go and sub Jeff Censored Live. It's in the description below, and yeah, that's where all my live shows are going to be. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one.